Hello friends, I'm Mamta Rupesh, your Vedic Maths coach from the VedicMaths.com. Welcome to our weekly podcast, Learn, Teach and Grow with Mamta Rupesh. In today's podcast interview, we have our guest Anju Arora Maam, who is a parenting coach and educationist with over 25 plus years of experience. The topic for today's podcast is Parents are Children's First Teacher. We are going to discuss more on parenting and children's behavior from childhood to adulthood. Also, best ways to deal with anger and wonderful tips for parents who are working to manage their work and family with ease. This podcast is mainly for students, parents, and teachers. So stay till the end for more information, and I'm sure you will have lots of insights to take away. Let's get in. Hello, ma'am. A very good evening.
Good evening, Mamta. Good evening.
Yeah,
How are you?
thank you so much. Doing good, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, thank
And
you so much.
I must congratulate you in the very beginning, doing a very good job. On
Thank
Vedic
you.
Maths, Mamta, doing a good job.
Thank you so much. So, friends, we have Anju Arora Maam, and a warm welcome to our weekly podcast, ma'am. Learn, teach, and grow with Mamta Rupesh.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So, I'm very happy to have you here today. And thanks for accepting our podcast invite, ma'am, first and foremost.
You're welcome. And I definitely always love sharing what I have gathered over the years with young people like you. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And in today's podcast interview, we have our guest Anju Arora Maam, who is an educationist, educator, trainer, and a parenting coach. And also, friends, she's a philanthropist at heart. She has been working in the educational domain for more than 25 years. It's so nice, ma'am. Seriously. Yeah. And friends, starting a journey as an educator and moving on to be the vice principal and then to be the founder principal of a leading CBSE school for 16 long years. She is currently working as the director academics of the Rose Orchid World School, a senior secondary CBSE school in Himachal Pradesh.
Thank you for introducing me.
Yes, ma'am. And the topic for today's podcast is Parents are Children's First Teacher. And we are going to discuss more on children's behavior from childhood to adulthood.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, can you please share a few tips and your experience in the field of education, ma'am?
Yeah, as you have a very good evening to all the audience, those who are here listening to the podcast with Vedic Maths. Yes, as she told you, I'm Anju Arora, an educationist, educator, and trainer, parenting coach. Starting my journey, as she has already told, perhaps I never thought that I will become an educator and then educationist. And then I will lead the school because like all parents think today, that my child must be anything but not the teacher. Right? And this is how something maybe our parents didn't think for us, but at that time, way back when I started my career, I had never thought of becoming a teacher. But since circumstances lead you to choose something, when I got married, and it was a small place, and there were no opportunities for further exploring yourself and getting into some career, I decided to start with teaching. And once my daughter joined the school, at 3 years, I joined the school with her as a teacher in some other school.
Nice.
And within 3 months, I had discovered, I had realized that I was cut to be a teacher. And perhaps this is the best thing that ever happened to me, that I chose the career of teacher. And I'm just not a teacher. When I say a teacher and educator, there's a lot of difference. A teacher is just passing on the bookish knowledge and preparing the child for the examination, while an educator is preparing the children for the life. Right. And then from educator to then leading to the schools, and then now working as director academics in K-12 CBSE senior secondary school. It has been a lot of experience. And now for the last 6-7 years, I have started realizing now is the time that we must educate parents as well. It's no longer only children who need education. Parents definitely not in terms of formal education, but since the entire gamut of the society has changed, ecosystem in which the children are growing up, everything has changed so much. Nuclear families, both parents working, and total urbanization, digital era, information at your fingertips, everything in plenty, but no time to think and reflect. This was the time when I decided now is the time to start coaching the parents, and I started doing it in my own school. Then during this COVID-19, it came as, I'll say, sometimes the things happen. They do not happen on a macro for a good reason, but for micro, if you are able to make some good opportunities out of them, it was a boon in disguise. At that time, I could get ample time and I explored. And I did a course, family engagement in education,
Yes.
introduction to family engagement in education from Harvard edX.
Yeah.
Whatever I had believed till now, going through that course reinforced my faith, my firm belief that now is the time that parents should be educated more. And there and then started my journey of parenting coach. Before that, I had done a certificate course for parenting coach, but I definitely had not launched it to the means in the public domain.
Okay.
And now I think is the time, and I have started my YouTube channel wherein I have put a lot of videos during, of course, COVID-19 pandemic time to help the parents to deal with the day-to-day life issues, what bothers them, and what are the issues, how can they handle. I have put a good number of videos. And then I started writing blogs as well, wherein I am telling parents, I'm talking about the topics and issues which interest parents, teachers, and students. I got ample time to prepare a course on parenting as well, the art of effective parenting, digital course I prepared. And apart from definitely being the working as a director academics and leading the school, I devote my time to the coaching of the parents as well.
Very nice, ma'am. Seriously, so informative and so inspiring you are. Really nice.
Thank you.
Friends.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am has trained many teachers and parents in enabling them to raise kids with love and affection. And as a parenting coach, she guides parents in creating a healthy and happy life. She improves the relationship between parents and children. And in today's session, we have lots of insights to take away. So, yes, ma'am. Please share your thoughts on parents being the children's first teacher. So, this is what you already said, and just give us few tips on this.
Yeah, well, see, Mamta, parents being the first teachers of the children, the moment a child is born,
Yes.
right? Whether the parents accept it, they like it, or they do not like it, they have been put into the role of the teacher by the nature itself. And though you do not formally teach your children, but you and your children are watching so much. Even just see, look at the perspective this way. A child who completes 1 year, right, from the birth to the 1 year, the parents have spent almost 8,760 hours totally devoted to the child. Though we think this is not the time, to educate the child, to teach the child, but teaching on its own is happening. The child is not able to speak, the child is not able to express, but the child is able to see and observe. And by third, fourth, fifth, 6 months onward, the children start making sense of the world around them. The way you speak, the way you behave with others, the way you provide care to them, and the way you relate with other people, slowly and gradually, it all starts going into the psyche of the children. The environment, the surroundings in which you and your children are growing, everything there is an opportunity for you as parent. You are already a teacher, you know it, accept it or not. But if you are a little conscious about, despite your being aware or not, unintentionally the things are happening, imagine the impact that you will make on your child, the influence that you will leave on your child once you are aware that I am devoting this much of time, especially initial 3, 4, 5 years, we are so much into care with the children. And that is the time the children are imbibing the basics for the life. Teaching as if comes formal teaching,
Yes.
learning to read, reading to learn, all this will come later, but the values that you are demonstrating are all being picked up.
Very
The
true.
habits, the routine, the schedule, that the entire home ecosystem is exposing the child to in itself is a learning opportunity for the child.
Yes, ma'am.
So this, of course, is true. The teachers are, the parents are the first teachers, and not only at the stage when the children are small. As the children grow, now they are able to make sense more out of the word. They're able to think, they are able to analyze, they're able to take their own decisions. And every time you are on display with your values to the children, what you speak, what you do, what you speak and how you speak, what you do and how you do, this all is a teaching lesson for the child. So once a parent, always a parent,
Yes.
and always a teacher,
Yes, ma'am.
always a coach, always a guide to the child. And we just have to be aware, we just have to be conscious that old mindset somewhere, the children, we will put them to school and they will learn the literacy. They will become literate, number literate, your alphabet literate, language literate, but they are going to be value literates at home. They're going to be habits, mannerism literates at home. School will simply be able to enforce the values that the home displays to the children. So we definitely, the parents are the first teachers to the children.
Yes, ma'am. Very well said. So, actually, when I started with Vedic Maths, my little one was just 9 months old. Okay, I have a girl child and she was 9 months old. And before I was teaching in schools with math, science, and social. And then all of a sudden I had to, quit the job and stay home with the kid. So at that time, any which ways I'll have to work, but my work should be at home. I couldn't go out for a job. At that time, we start Vedic Maths at home, and my husband really supports a lot. So he's the one who's handling the digital part, everything, and the education side, the teaching, the course, the preparing the chapters and all. It's my side. So seriously, ma'am, the lockdown period helped a lot. And as kids were at home, and especially parents, they wanted to do something for their little ones, and they picked up these Vedic Maths courses. At the same time, I could handle my little one also. So as a parent, as you said, the words were really, very meaningful. So thanks for that,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, Vedic Maths, you picked up on the Vedic Maths when you were teaching in the school. I just gone through your website wherein you have described about yourself.
Yes.
And then you realized how you can make the maths learning easy and fun for them, and how you can sharpen their skills for the multiplication, division, and everything. That we were talking about the parents being the first teacher. When you are singing songs with the children, when you are singing rhymes with the children, when you are chanting mantras with the children, you are unconsciously working on their language skills. Just imagine you are climbing up the stairs and you're counting the stairs with the children. You are working on pre-numeracy skills, right? Whatever you are doing around with the child is somehow contributing to the formal education as well. And the more you are engaged with your child, the better your child's brain is developing for the formal teaching learning to happen.
Yes, ma'am. Very true. Yes, thank you, ma'am. And ma'am, in today's modern world, we, selecting schools at right age is really a difficult task. So could you please, help the parents with some suggestions on, how to choose a school or at what age for kids? And actually, after this lockdown, now schools have started. So most of the parents are, little worried about this. So could you please explain?
Yeah, see, Mamta, when it comes to selecting a school, what I would love to say is that, see, selecting a school is a very important, I must say, the most important decision of a parent's life, because now you are putting your child on a learning trajectory, right?
Yes.
And choosing the school, what am I aiming at? What are my expectations from the school? What are the values that I expect school to focus on? Do they match with the values that I have? So what I would love to say, first of all, this will depend a lot when you have to choose a school for your child. It will depend a lot on what stage of life your child is. If it is a beginner, the child who has to start the school, My suggestion will just be to go for a school which provides a loving and caring ethos, is not very far away from the school, basic facilities all settled and functional in place, rather than going to a school which is very far away and with five-star hotel facilities and everything in place, but not functional and not children not allowed to use.
Yes.
For the small children, when we start the school, the aim is to teach them to be away from the home for some time and learn to interact with the society around. But if your child is at the maybe in the primary classes, middle schools, then again, you just have to look for ethos, of course, is important. All schools, they must display and truly believe in providing a caring and loving ethos environment for the children to grow and develop. But apart from that, you have to look for this, the competence of the faculty, whether the faculty available in the school is competent or not. And how do you do that? You just make a visit to the school, choose to talk with few of the teachers available, or you just sit at the front office and you look around. You get the audience to see the people around and you seek that. This is one way how to ensure that. Second way is to find out the children, find out the parents whose children are studying in that school, and have a word with them. Competence of the faculty is very important. Then you have to look for the teaching learning experience that the school provides. Is the school an old-fashioned school with the five-star facilities, infrastructure in place, but the rote learning going on? It will be good to have a moderate school with a moderate facilities, where all facilities are functional, neat and clean toilet facilities, potable drinking water, a neat and clean green ground maintained to play around, everything basic functional, right? And for middle schoolers, for elementary schools, if you're looking, of course, a lab, library, and art and craft facilities, these all must be in place. And the pedagogy, the teaching learning experiences that the schools expose children to. If it is traditional and rote learning, I hope it's not the right school today. The school must provide children the teaching learning experiences which are experiential, which are engaging the children, and the children are not just made to memorize the facts, they are engaged in discovering the facts and knowing and applying it in the life. And when it comes to I must say that motives of the school. What are the motives of the school? This is a little, I must say, that something that I am taking the issue is a little for this from the sake of the society. It's I am not getting the right word to tell, but I'm speaking. What is the motive of the school? Motive of the school is just business. See, there are three kinds of school: pure education, pure business, and third, a school, of course, with a business motive, but having a real grasp of the what the real education is, or the other way around, you put it, a school which knows what education means and has the business acumen as well. Yes. And we don't live in a real world, in an ideal world. In real world, you won't find an pure educational school, because pure educationists, I believe, will not find so much of resources to fund the school. And pure business school will not survive in the long run. The ideal school to choose for your children is a school which charges you for the services, but the services which actually are provided to your children, the charges for the infrastructure, if they are there, you must see that how does that infrastructure, which is putting us parents in awe, is helping to grow and develop my child. How is it going to contribute? We need facilities, we need infrastructure, but we also understand that a pre-primary kid just needs, I must say, a normal angan, veranda, open area for the play, right? And if you're choosing a play school and the play school doesn't have a 200-meter tracks, perfectly all right, right? So then you have to somehow try to understand the motive of the schoolers. And apart from that, I have already said, like you are saying, which board to select. That's a tough question for the parents.
That's the syllabus.
When it comes to begin the schooling, right? the basics of the schooling and the education is the same, whether you choose the CBSE board, ICSE board, or any state board. Everybody till class 8th works on the basic numeracy, literacy, and these are the important skills to develop in the beginning. Beyond that, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, the schools are affiliated with the boards for the examination purpose.
Yes.
And all schools have to work on the syllabus provided from the NCF, which is National Curriculum Framework, right? And now that means the board doesn't matter till class 8th. What matters is the environment, the competence of the faculty, the class size.
Yeah.
Is it a very big class size, or it's a especially till class 8? Because primary tak to, till primary, it's too much to be focused upon. Then 6th, 7th, 8th onwards, if the number of students in the classes increases a little, from 30, 32, it goes to 36, it is manageable. Beyond that, it is not manageable, because the children at that stage, they need individual attention. So then the factors to choose school must be this rather than the board.
Yes.
Because all schools ultimately have to work on the basic numeracy and literacy and the skill sets. It becomes easy for us to put the things in perspective. And yes, for your information and for the audience information, you can go on my blog, which is Growing Up with Life. There is precisely a blog by the name How to Choose the Right School for Children, wherein I have covered all these aspects in detail. You can read it and you can relate to it.
Nice. That's very nice, Mom. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So yes, friends, this message was truly informative. So choosing a right school at right age and the proper syllabus, and ma'am has given us beautiful words on these. Yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah, I would add, when it comes to age, now see, earlier what the schools used to do, they used to give admission in the pre-primary, actually was never a part of the schooling system, formal schooling system. Though we had play schools around, all schools, they had pre-primary classes as well, but it was not a mandate from the government side.
Yes.
Admission to the children was given straight in class 1 at the age of 5. Now, new education policy 2020 has brought the age at 3 years for the pre-primary, 6 years for class 1.
Yes.
The child must get admission at the age of minimum 3. The child must have completed 3 at the beginning of the session as on 1st of April. And the child must complete 3 years, nursery, junior KG, senior KG.
Yes.
After that, the child must get admission in class 1 at the age of 6 years.
Yes.
And I am actually very, very happy with this change in the coming brought forward through this new education policy, because the kind of syllabus, the kind of curriculum, and the kind of expectations that we have from our children today, we push them into the schooling thinking that they will be perhaps going ahead, taking leap forward, because we have initiated our children into schooling maybe 6 months earlier, maybe 1 year earlier. But believe me, you are putting your child under stress. The child's mental faculties and physical abilities are yet not developed to take that stress. Going to school for us is a routine. Initially, when the child begins a school, it's a stress for the child. The child has to leave behind the comforts of the home, the safe and secure zone of the family, where the total attention was onto the child, right? 3 years minimum. No parent must be in a hurry to start the child, to put the child in a school at the age of 2 into the crèche or into some pre-primary or maybe some play school in the name of giving an edge to the children. Believe me, you are not giving an edge to them. You're putting them under stress. Let them develop the capacity and ability. I will just share, what happens working with parents for so long. Parents will come and they will demand admission at the age which is lower than the normal legal age for the child to give the admission. And they will say, we will give you on paper. We will get it corrected somehow from the back, everything. Then my question to them is, do you think that your 2 years old child, even if the child is of 3 years on paper, that however you do it, the child has developed mental, physical capabilities? The child has not developed. And then their question is that they have to prepare for their answer, or their worry or their apprehension is that they have to prepare for the competitions. They have to do it multiple times. My answer to them straight is that, Why does a child have to appear in the competition multiple times? Because the competence is not developed. If the competence is developed, right competence is developed at the right age, there is no reason children have to take more than one or maximum two attempts. If you have to put your child in race, which we must not do as parents, but in case if you plan, and yes, we understand, we live in a real world, the children after 11th and 12th have to go for some career wherein they have to appear for competition. But for competition, if you consider it a race, prepare your child for the race, then put the child in the race. The race is 10 years ahead.
Yes.
Race is 10 years ahead. Strengthen the legs, strengthen the capabilities, build on them, and then let the child enter the race. The child automatically is going to win.
Yes, ma'am.
For the age is important. What age you are putting your child in. And my suggestion to parents will be never ever ask any school to make your child jump one class because your child is doing exceptionally good. No. All children these days are exceptionally good. Since we as parents are dealing only with 2 or 3 children, we think our children are smart. Ask us. All children are so smart these days. They are so energetic. Yes. The challenge now is to divert their energy into the right direction. Channelize their energy into the right direction.
Yes, ma'am. Very true. And can you please, tell the last point again for our audience? It's because the kids, I know they are very much energized. And as you said, we need to divert their energies. We'll have to
channelize their energy into right direction.
Yes, ma'am. Instead of wasting it with one thing, we can take them out. We'll have to show them the sports side. At the same time, we'll have to, take care of them, pull their energy towards us actually. So they're very mischievous, they're very energized these days, ma'am. Especially my little one.
Some parents when they say, my child is very naughty, I said, all the good. I said, wow, very good. They say, ma'am, what are you saying? I said, being naughty means the child's mind is working. If your child is sitting idle and your child is doing nothing, I expect the child to be moving around at the age of 4, 5, 6. Yes. Because child is curious by nature. Child has to look around the world and make sense. And if your child is sitting this, something is not right. Now, our task, our challenge as parents and teachers is to channelize that energy for the right reasons in the constructive ways. Being naughty is in favor of your child. Yes, ma'am. Channelize that naughtiness, channelize that energy.
Very true. And at the same time, I would like to, ask, what are the best ways to deal with anger? These energized kids, they often get anger. From the age of 3, I'm starting from 3 till the age of, somewhere around 60, 70s also. All of us has the part of anger, but nowadays kids especially, even for a small thing, they start raising up, and that's really bad. So could you please?
Yeah, see, I will address your question in 2 ways, right? Your question is, what is the best way to deal with anger, right? That's your question. Yes, see, how do you expect yourself as a parent to manage your anger?
Very difficult.
We very difficult. We started with this, that parents are the first teachers. Yes. If the children at home get to see their parents managing their anger the right way, automatically they will become. If children today are not able to manage their anger, I will definitely talk about how we can help our children to manage their anger. But before that, as a parenting coach, I would love to ask this question to any parent who is on this podcast listening to us. How do you manage your anger? Do you have some idea? And yes, one thing before I talk about the small tips and tricks to manage anger, let me tell you, for very long, we have been told to suppress our anger. Anger is not a right or wrong emotion. Anger is just an emotion like other emotions. Yeah. We never say don't express your happiness. Why do we say don't express your anger? We never say don't express your sadness, your excitement. Anger is just like any other feeling and emotions driven out of that. The only thing is that anger needs to be released in a positive manner. We cannot suppress the anger, and by the time we reach the stage when we are no longer angry at the small things around us, that takes years of practice, sadhuvad. right?
Yes.
That takes years of practice. For children, they are the beginners. The fun was, I must say, the best way to deal with the anger is to learn to release it in a constructive and positive manner. And how can we do that? First of all, I'm talking in terms of parents, then I'll be going to the children.
Yes.
Treat anger as a natural emotion. Anger is neither right or wrong. Anger is just an emotion. And for long, we have not been taught to express it in the right way. See, Mamta, if we see around all changes that we have seen in terms of society, social reforms, revolution, rebellions, they were the outcome of anger. If we would not have got angry, we would still have been being ruled by the British.
Very true.
That means anger serves the purposes also.
Yes.
To bring the positive change at the personal level, at the community level, at the societal level, at the national level. Anger has a purpose. Everything wrong happening in front of me and I'm not getting angry. Am I a dead rock? Am I a dead rock?
Oh.
But then I have to see whether the reasons on which I am getting angry, are they genuine? The word is not here to dance to my tune. I don't like, so you must not do. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. And for parents, try to identify your triggers. What triggers your anger? Is it small things? Like at home, if your child is there and your child is making noise while playing and your child is not putting the things at the proper places and you're shouting and getting angry, I must say, please sit down with yourself and look at the age. Your child's behavior, if it is age appropriate behavior, a class 2, class 3, maybe 2-year, 3-year child is not able to yet learn these values to put the things at the proper place. And how do you play around without making noise? Children by nature are playful and speaking and continuously babbling and speaking.
Yes.
And on this, if you get angry, the problem is not with the
Not
child.
with the child, it's with us.
The problem is with me. Because I am expecting a child to be behaving like an adult, which is not possible. You can teach the children to speak politely. You can teach the children to play in a little hushed voice if it's a small house or you're doing some work. Especially COVID time was very tough when we had to work from the confines of the small homes. It was tough. But then again, the child is being child. Child is being natural, right? And then also, if you also need to understand when you're getting angry on something, are you getting on angry something which is in your control or which is beyond your control? If it is within your control, so please go and address it. Modify it. Even if it is the habit of your child, have the patience to teach your child the right value till the child picks up. You can't get angry, right? And if the happening to which you are giving reaction as anger, any event or anything in your surrounding, just check, is it in your control? If it is not in control, why are you getting angry? Why are you getting angry? Unnecessary. We never think and reflect upon the anger. So this is manage your thoughts. Check your emotions. Explore your emotions. Why many times what comes out as the outburst in the form of anger is not anger. In the office today, maybe there had happened some incident on which I am disappointed or I'm feeling embarrassed. I couldn't do anything there, but at home I can burst out in anger. Explore yourself. What is it really? Most of the times, what comes out is not anger. It is some other suppressed emotion. Reflect on the anger. Anger has passed. Now sit down and reflect. Once you reflect, you will slowly start getting the control over it. And I would love to share again. When you are exploring your emotions, try naming it. Most often, we do not teach our children. We as individuals, while we were growing up, we were never taught about the emotion words. See, irritation, upsetting, and then getting angry, and then anger, and then blast. These are the degrees. Anger starts from the irritation. Anger starts from the irritation. And when I'm getting irritated, let me see and let me give a name. I'm getting irritated. When you are able to name the feeling, you are able to tame the feeling. Before your irritation bursts into the anger, you'll be able to tame it because it has got a release.
Yes.
Sometimes, rather than shouting in anger on children, if you tell them, this is quite irritating and I'm getting upset, can you please hold on what you're doing? It is upsetting me.
Yes.
Right? Children may be listening, they may listen, they may not listen, but you have given vent to your feeling. Let us teach our children as well to name their feelings so that they are able to give it a release expression. And then, of course, these all things come with age, with wisdom, when you are thinking over what you are doing, right? Learn some relaxing techniques. Why are we always in a hurry here inside? And we are trying to maintain calm. Then this inside plus
Comes out.
Go for some relaxing techniques, meditation.
Meditation.
For so long, our ancient or Indian ancient system, we were so rich. We always believed in mastering the self first before we ventured out to master others.
Yes.
Success outside starts with mastering inside. Learn some relaxation techniques, go for meditation, start your day on 2 or 3 or 5 minutes of meditation, wherein you are giving yourself positive affirmations. I am totally in charge of myself. I know there will be things beyond my control, but I choose not to react. I choose to respond. The things which are in my control, I will take action to control, to make them better. The things which are beyond my control, I would leave them to the God. I'm going on the way, there's traffic jam beyond my control. Yes. I'll reach office late, but reaching office late is one thing. Reaching office late, fuming and firing on everybody is another thing.
Exactly.
Right? So then if this is how, if parents learn to manage their own anger, believe me, you will be able to teach your child also to learn the, manage the anger. And yes, on my YouTube channel, Anju Arora, there is a video playlist wherein there are 2 videos precisely for the same reason. One for the parents, how to manage their anger. Second is for the children, how to teach your children to manage their anger.
Nice.
Remember, yeah, please, you can share the link as well.
Sure.
Right? And yeah, and you know what happens majority of the times when children get angry? Try to understand that some of their physical or emotional need is not met. A child of 6 months, when the child is crying, and we think the child is angry, the child is throwing the toys, the child is not listening to us. Maybe the child's physical need, maybe the child is hungry, the child is sleepy, the child is sleepy. The children, since they also have no vocabulary, no language to express what is going through them when they are very small, and when they are old enough to express, they have not been taught to express the anger using the emotion words. Telling this, I'm feeling angry is releasing my anger rather than picking and throwing something. So you can look into those 2 videos, and even all the audience, they can log on to that on the video playlist, and they can find many more techniques for themselves.
Yes, ma'am. We'll share all the links below the video. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And it was really very helpful. And as a parent, being myself, there are lots of insights to take away from your words. It's really nice.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And another question is, how would you advise working parents to spend their evening times with the children?
Children by nature, bubbling with energy. We already discussed. We have to channelize their energy to some constructive uses. Exactly. In the evening, when working parents come home, now is the time, quality time. And quality time means many people, they do not understand what the quality time is. People somehow have the notion, I'll say wrong notion, misnotion, that doing everything for your children, you are the best parents. Purchasing the best things in the market with the highest of the cost, expensive items, you are being best to your children and you are loving them. No. Quality time means being available for your children, not only with body, mind, body, and soul, and engaging with them for at least 1 to 2 hours, wherein you are with them. You are sharing your day with them. They are sharing their day with you. And you are reading some story book together, um, you are watching some play together, you are watching some cartoon together, wherein you have the opportunity to have a dialogue. See, Doraemon gets all the work done by his device. Do you think you also need a device to do your homework? Is it right or wrong? Everything around us actually in itself is an opportunity for us to have dialogue and set the right values in the children. And yes, one thing that I would love parents to do, make sure that your children pick up some sports and you involve yourself with them.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was very meaningful. And yes, ma'am. And could you please suggest few value-based books to our students which can help them in reading skills?
Value-based books.
Yeah.
Right. Reading. See, one thing, there are two things. Value-based books means we can go for Panchtantra stories. Right?
Yes.
We can go for Aesop's fables.
Yeah.
Rather than giving my children that Snow White's, what was that? Snow White's mirror or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. And all those dwarfs and elves, which are good to read. They will help your children to develop reading skill. But if you wish your children to develop reading skill and side by side
models.
instill the values, you go for
exactly
the Panchtantra stories, fables, you go for them.
Fables, yes.
And let me tell you that there is a blog by the same name, how to promote reading as a habit in your children. And therein I have shared an extensive list of the kinds of the books that children must be introduced at what age and what authors must be introduced to the children at what age, right? But when it comes to build on the reading skill, remember Mamta, that in the beginning we work on the children's ability to read. We teach them, we make them learn to read.
Yes.
Later on in life, they read to learn.
Yes.
And that is why these initial 5 years now, which have been made so important in the new education policy till class 2, 5 years in the beginning, this nursery, junior KG, senior KG, class 1, class 2, wherein we are settling the basic numeracy and literacy, the most important years. If the literacy and numeracy is not settled, the children further will not able to learn and grow. If my skill to read and make meaning out of that is not settled, I will not be able to comprehend the books when I grow in my age and when the level of studies grow. So we must focus more in the junior classes. Learning in the senior classes will automatically happen on its own, because the skill to read, not read and comprehend, is developed.
Yes.
And that blog actually shares an exhaustive list of the books.
Nice. Very nice, ma'am. I'll share all the links below. And ma'am, your courses, that is Art of Effective Parenting. So could you please, just elaborate or just explain about that, so that will be helpful for our parents. So whoever requires, they can come and take up that course.
Yes. See, this Art of Effective Parenting, basically, once a parent, the entire life we are parent. And remember, from other jobs, you can get a respite. After 6 or 8 hours or 10 hours, you'll come back and you'll relax, no longer on the job. As a parent, 24/7, all your life, you're a parent. Starting from the parent of a toddler to the parent of an adult, or maybe a 40-year-old young man or young lady, right? You will remain a parent. Your challenges at different stages of the life of the children will be different, because children are passing through ages. This is the Art of Effective Parenting. What I've shared, 3 basic values that all parents must master to be effective at their roles. Our role is just not to provide the children khana, pina, food, clothing, and the best of the schools available in the neighborhood, or maybe beyond our reach, providing the education to the children. A good school where the real learning is happening will be much better than a school with just beliefs in pomp and show, right? Then what are those values which parents must master to help their children to be responsible, confident, and happy children? We wish to have responsible children. Everybody loves to have confident children. My child is shy. This is a common question from the parents. There are reasons why a child is shy, but then what can you do? If a child's self-esteem is not built, How do you expect a person to be confident? My self-esteem every time is shattered at home by you.
Yes, it's we parents for doing.
Everything, yeah, everything that I'm not able to do, I am reminded 10 times. Nobody coaches me. Nobody shows me the right way to do it in an emotionally regulated way. If I use the example, I've told you 10 times, you still don't understand. And an emotionally regulated mother or father will say, oh, you tried well. I hope I need to help you once more. Let me try this. That's it. And our job doesn't end the moment what we are trying to teach and coach is picked up. It settles the new things. So we have to be in the role of guide, coach, mentor. And there are the basic 3 values that I have shared in the course. This course is with video exercises, and means my video lectures are there. Then there are exercises for the parents to do and understand, and general exercises, not something academic. Means what are your reactions, what are your responses, how do you handle, is there some other way to handle? Then that model way is shown how they can do this. And once these 3 basic values are mastered, I believe the parents will be effective all their life. Challenges will change at the different ages, but then you will have the patience and the wisdom of life. They will need my help till they become adult and responsible, mature enough to take their own decisions.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. Seriously, I have no words. And very nice, ma'am. Being a parenting coach, being a principal, an educator, educationist, you are really awesome, ma'am. And it's our blessing to have you here today. So, friends, this
Thank you,
podcast, yes,
thank
ma'am.
you.
This podcast has lots of insights for parents, students, and teachers. And thanks for spending your valuable time here, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mamta. God
Yes.
bless us all. God
Thank
bless
you
us
so
all.
much, ma'am.
And may you keep rocking in your endeavor and teaching Vedic maths and making the children sharper in their mathematics skill. God bless us
Thank
all.
you. Thank you so much. And yes, friends, so as we have short of time today, let's wind up the session and stay tuned with me. You have lots of other podcasts coming up in the following weeks, and we would love to get into the Art of Effective Parenting program. So parents, please, if you all are interested in taking up the parenting program, please do visit. I'll share all your links, ma'am, below the video. I'll share all the details, and which will be very helpful
Thank you.
for most of us.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Do you have anything else to say, ma'am? A few words to conclude?
Should I leave? Yeah, I must simply conclude that the parents, they must be driven out of love, compassion, and a lot of patience for children. And we must understand that children come through us, but they don't belong to us. They have their own destiny already written. We are just there to facilitate, and our job is to help them to be at their best.
Yes.
What they are designed to be, to support them to be. Support them to be. God bless all young parents too.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's a pleasure.
God bless us.
Thank you. Bye, ma'am. Take care.